have a special guest, one of my former students, and I did not know you were Jamaican, just playing, because she has 3 jobs. Can you talk about some of the things that you learned that will help beginning drivers?
You gotta stay calm, because if you freak out, then it just overwhelms yourself, and then you kind of just get like lost.
I do agree. Beginning drivers tend to be overwhelmed, and it does take time uh, for beginners to process information. And it's about processing information, it's about allowing drivers to gradually learn how to drive. When you first started driving, did you drive in your neighborhood? Did you drive?
I kind of just drove all over the place. I mean, especially living out in the boonies.
Okay.
um,
Could you describe the boonies? Not
the
tell us where you.
boonies is more of like back roads, or like the farms. We would drive over to my grandparents. They live out in the country, or like in the city where my grandparents live, like in town. But that's mainly just drive as much as you can when you're new.
I do agree. When you're new, a lot of beginners tend to do light traffic light driving, where they're just driving in the neighborhood, from the neighborhood to school, from school home. To live in the country is definitely different. You have a lot of different You have a lot of different elements to driving. Where do you have street lights in the country?
Not as many.
Okay, so you're driving literally in the dark in the country, and you have deer, you have dirt roads, you have turkeys. What are some other animals you've seen on the road?
Rabbits, chickens. I that's a bad story.
Tell us about the bad chicken
I
story.
was driving down a back road on my side by side, and there was like a miniature chicken, and it was like so little, like smaller than like my hand. But it was like a miniature chicken. And I was driving, and I was making sure that the truck was going to stop before I crossed the road, because I didn't have a stop sign.
The chicken crossed the road, or the chicken didn't make it?
The chicken didn't make it, because I was making sure the truck stopped before I went, even though I didn't have a stop sign, they did. And since I was in the side by side, I was like making sure that they were going to stop. And so they did, but since I was looking at them, I didn't see the chicken that was in front of me. And they were free roam chickens, and at this guy's house. He lives on a corner, and I was going straight, and when I came back, I was like, oh crap. Because my friend was next to me, she goes, and I was like, what? As I was crossing the road, she's like, I think you just ran over a chicken. I was like, what?
And that's a tough decision, because the chicken does cross the road, and you as a driver, you're going to have to make choices. You made a choice to sacrifice the chicken instead of hitting a truck or being struck by a truck. And in the country, those elements are different. It's definitely different in the country. There is limited visibility. It's harder to learn how to drive. In the city, downtown Detroit, downtown Houston, Texas, downtown Los Angeles, California, you have lights, you have signs to help you. Can you talk about you driving in your first snowstorm?
My first snowstorm, I definitely recommend going like a little bit slower. Even though that there's people like around you, go at your like own pace, but like good enough pace, so then you're not like too slow, but you're slow enough to where like you know what you're doing and what you gotta do. Just don't feel rushed, because everyone else is feeling the same way about the storm, or like the snow in general, especially because you're going to be sliding all over the place. But.
Facts. You have to know and learn. We're in the Midwest. It does get very cold. Right now it's very hot. Helping people know how to drive is so important, because I want to give a chance to give you real life. And, this is one of my former clients. She's working 3 jobs. She has taken the time to educate us. Can you talk about driving in the rain?
Driving in the rain can be really scary, but the best thing I can tell you is that, like, make sure you got your wipers on, make sure you're checking all mirrors, every windows. Go, again, like, at your own pace, just not too slow. Go with the flow of the traffic. Just know that, like, everyone else is also probably feeling the same way that you're feeling. Just like take your time and like you gotta stay calm about it.
I think learning to stay calm, you will gradually learn. You'll have your parent in the car, you'll have your mom, you'll have your dad, you'll have other people who want to tell you what to do. Can you talk about when you were driving in the car with both of your parents? How was that?
When I was okay, so since my parents are like split, it's different a little bit. When I was driving with my mom, she got more of like the anxiety type. Until like my driver instructor was like, "Hey, she's a really good driver," and like kind of got her to feel better about it. But my dad, on the other hand, he was just like, whatever, at least I got a DD. He didn't mind. He kind of just was just chill about it. He was more like more of an influence, kind of just like, just go for it, just do it. But my mom, on the other hand, she was more cautious and stuff.
I definitely agree with you because when I was learning how to drive, I was very slow with my dad. I don't want him to say anything and get mad. My mom, skirt, I was driving real fast, right? And I think when you learn to handle your parents, you can definitely do well.
You just got to block it out.
You do have to block it out. Facts. You do have to block it out. Can you talk about your first freeway merge by yourself in the car? What was that like?
Well, my car, obviously, it's like an older one because I'm a newer driver. When I first went on the freeway, I got like the highway wobbles or whatever it is.
Highway wobbles, wobble and wobble.
Like my car, since it's older, it like was shaking on the freeway, so it was kind of more scarier. But we came to find out my car doesn't tend to like the freeway, so now we go on back roads.
Oh.
But like back ways.
Yes.
I still go on it every now and then when I feel more confident about it, when there's like less people. But it wasn't like too bad doing my first way. It's kind of just like you gotta time it perfectly where you can merge in while there's cars coming at you. It's kind of just like go look at your mirror as you're driving forward, like look at the corner basically as you're going, and it's like when you see like the chance to get, then it's when you merge. But like sometimes you don't have a choice, you gotta like double merge sometimes.
Double merge, yes.
But it's not as good.
So you heard some incredible information. And beginners do struggle. Have you been to a downtown area? I have to mention what. Have you been to a downtown area where you have to parallel park?
I have family members that live in a downtown area. I do have to parallel park because that's like their only parking in front of their house.
Nice.
We would have to like merge cars. Sometimes we have to double parallel park. So, like we'd go one car next to the sidewalk and we'd do another car next to it. And then like for fairs and stuff, so they can like have a place to park. There's like, even if you were to go into a town, there's always having to be parallel park because a lot of people don't do it. So when there's more parts to park in the parallel area, yeah, that's it.
So parallel parking is really important. You need to prepare for the parallel parking process. Even if you don't use it a lot, you're still going to have to get out there and park. Can you talk about a mechanical breakdown, a flat tire, your truck overheating? Have you had any issues like that?
I have many issues with my car.
Yeah, she got issues, all right.
My car tends to like, well, it doesn't say that it's overheating, but it does overheat. Like, not like horrible, but I'll be driving and it kind of like will over accelerate and stuff. But like it won't like go, just my RPMs will go.
Okay.
I don't really have many other issues other than I had, when I was driving, my Cadillac converter came apart while I was driving, and it went from really, really quiet car to like a brah while I was driving. So I pulled over into the gas station, looked under my car, and saw there was a straight split. And then I went to, I could still drive, it was just really, really, really loud. And so I managed to get to a like automotive place, and they checked it out and they said I was missing a flex pipe.
Oh yeah.
And so I had to buy a new flex pipe for it. and then it's been fine since.
Okay, good. So I was thinking someone might have tried to steal her catalytic converter, because there are people doing that for money because of the precious metals that are in the catalytic converter.
Oh,
Go ahead. Yeah.
For parallel parking, I recommend, if you know you're going to be parallel parking, at least bring somebody, because if you don't feel confident with how you're going to park, they can help you with backing up.
Facts, what she said. Can you talk about, once you got your permit and license, were you like the Uber of the family? Were you taking everyone?
I'm everybody's Uber. I drive everybody. I love driving though. I'll drive everybody and anywhere, anything. But sometimes I do ask for money, because
You should.
for gas money. Only because, like, if I'm gonna be driving you to school every day with me, we're going to the same place, but it's like I'm still coming to pick you up.
Facts.
Even though I feel like mean asking, but I mean, I'm driving you. It happens.
100%. You guys will have to get a job, whether you're 16, 26, 36. It's about income. It's about helping drivers. I want to say thank you. You're freaking awesome. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome.